All right, the internet put their new album out. Hive Mind just dropped today, or I guess you could say late last night. But I'm gonna go over some brief intro points real quick, and then I'll jump right into the track list. The internet, they have a very neo soul R&B type of feel. They sprung up from Odd Future. The instruments that they have are really great that they play throughout their music, as they are a band, so the band members play their instruments while Sid usually takes care of the vocals. The very first song I heard from them was that track Girl back in 2015. It really caught my ear because the instrumentation being so great, that's what really caught my ear. And then, of course, Sid's vocals, but she was referencing, a girl as if she wanted to love her, and her voice is so angelic and soothing. It kind of caught me off guard because why is this girl with this beautiful voice talking about this girl like this, definitely insinuating she's gay. And then, I finally got a look at the group in totality, and, with Sid's appearance, it did make sense. Now, not taking anything away from her, but she definitely has an odd look. But I love the internet. Ego Death, I feel like, was a great album. It was the third album, and they also got nominated for a Grammy for that as well. Hive Mind is 13 tracks, just around 58 minutes. You can listen to the album in entirety. There's no features, but I feel like the band is used very well and incorporated all throughout the album to make it feel like it wasn't just Sid, taking over the entire project. One brief note. The title Hive Mind for the album kind of caught my attention because it's a very peculiar title. So I wasn't quite sure where they got that idea to name the album Hive Mind. So just to do a little bit of research, I just looked up the definition of it. And it's saying that hive mind is basically the collective thoughts, ideas, and opinions of a group of people, such as internet users, regarded as functioning together as a single mind. Now, this is a very appropriate title for their project, considering the name of their band or group is called The Internet. And then also, maybe this body of work is to represent as a collection of each of these people individually into the group, and therefore putting together a project that represents all of them as one. That's a really great title for their album if they derive the title of their album from the definition of hive mind. So we got 13 tracks on this album. The very first track is Come Together. It's a very jazzy, breezy track, repeatedly saying they're gonna get us to come together. It's mostly instrumentation. Sid is harmonizing throughout the track. Not much lyric content on this song, however, more so what caught my ear or what was the highlight of the song were just the instruments playing in the background. The second song, Roll or Burbank Fur, this one from the beginning, you can hear the drums and the clap from the start, very up-tempo beat. I can definitely envision this song being played within a social scene or a social setting. Definitely has that type of vibe to where it could be played maybe at a mixer or a kickback or even at a bar. It's definitely the type of music that represents, I feel like, an atmosphere. Going into the third song, Come Over, their lead single. So this is the song that they decided to go ahead and promote, as they have released this song months prior to the album dropping, and also put out a really cool video for it. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. It has a really cool concept where each of the band members kind of has their own significant other. Steve Lacy has a guy, basically insinuating he's gay, which I feel like people knew. And then Sid, of course, with herself having a girl. And then the other band members, having their respective opposite sex member. Really cool video, as well as the song being cool as well. Sid has some really hypnotizing vocals on this track. One of the funny parts of what Sid said throughout the song was, "I can turn you on with my dirty mind." Now, this is definitely up Sid's lane, as she often kind of throws in sultry lyrics, and she does it again here on this track. But I really, really like the song. I think the hook is very catchy and it's easy to get stuck in your head. La Di Da starts with a real guitar feel, kind of funky feel as well from the 70s. Piano and drums take over the song as the song progresses. They have a lot of shaker instruments throughout the song. I think I can hear the maraca or rattles perhaps. I'm not quite sure what it was, but definitely has that feel where it's like you can hear like the shaker instruments going through certain parts of the song. Could definitely see it being played at a place where people like to go out and dance and get on the dance floor. It's not a song where you're gonna play at a club or anything of that nature. Stay the Night is almost similar to Come Over, definitely the same concept. However, it's more of a continuation, seeing that it's saying stay the night, which is basically insinuating that whoever that Sid is talking to throughout the song, because she basically sings the entire song, it's like, hey, you know, you're here already. Why don't you just go ahead and stay? A couple tracks ago, she was just trying to get the girl to come over, and now she's trying to get him to stay. I mean, she can never have enough. It's a really slow song, really subdued, nice chill vibe. Lyrics are very repetitive. Bravo drums again are really heavy from the start. Another slow vibe song. Throughout this track, Sid is somewhat rapping and flowing on here, giving the girl kind of a bravo, a round of applause for her performance of playing games and basically leading her on. To think that Sid thought that, you know, that maybe this girl could be someone special, but she insinuates that the girl's just playing a role, and, you know, the real her came out. So that girl can exit stage left. And that's basically what the song is about. Mood being the next track. It's making time to explore a new relationship with a new chick that maybe she's seen interest in. Trying to get the girl in the mood after catching a vibe after they go out on a date. This song really, as well as a couple of other songs, I feel like paints a picture. You can definitely see what's going on throughout the track. Whether it's a courting type of situation or whatever, you can definitely hear that throughout the song, and a couple of songs as well. I really like how Sid delivers her lyrics. I like this song, it's a very chill track. At the end of the song, there's a nice horn that comes in, maybe a saxophone, to give it a real jazzy vibe at the end. The next song is one of those songs where it's like 1 and 2 into one song combined. So the title track is called Next Time / Humble Pie. I personally love when artists mesh 2 songs into one. I like to see if they relate in a sense, or I like to see if there's like a seamless transition between the 2 songs. But Next Time, I love the beat. It's probably one of the more, it's probably one of the only beats on the album where I feel like there's less live instruments within this beat for the Next Time portion of the song. Sid is trying to capitalize on meeting this girl that caught her eye before she misses out on the opportunity. So basically leaving out any opportunity of a next time, and more so wanting to make it a sure thing. So not letting the opportunity slip through her fingers. The feel of the Humble Pie song, which is all within one track, it's a nice switch up from what we were hearing within Next Time. Sid kind of sounds like she's far away from the mic or in a large room where she's maybe even still singing into the mic, but it's a distance away from her rather than a traditional setting where, you know, you may be in a professional recording studio up close on the mic. There's some type of sound effect done to her voice to make it sound completely different from how it did within the Next Time. Nothing in relation to like auto-tune or anything of that nature, but it definitely has a distinct sound difference, but I like it. It gets better, in parentheses, with time. Is a really good track. I feel like it's one of the most inspirational tracks, one of the tracks with the most depth throughout the entire album. Sid comes in beautifully with her high-pitched tone voice, a song about someone struggling, and then Sid is kind of going along and providing uplifting lyrics that can get that person through, and it's almost like she's talking to that person throughout the song. Sid is basically directing the person to kind of stop worrying and take some action into their life, and just, you know, create a better day and stop harping so much on how things are difficult at the moment and how eventually things will get better and a better day will come along. This is a song that can apply to anyone really. And I'm sure everyone has been to a point or been at a point within their life, or maybe they've known someone who's been at a point within their life where everything's just not okay, or they seem like they can't catch a break. So, you do need to uplift that person, or maybe you have been in a position where you need to be uplifted. And I feel like this is a song that could last a long time, has a lot of valuable content and context throughout it. At the end of the track, we get a poem very relevant to the lyrics within the song from a guy that was at the end of the ATL movie right after T.I.'s little brother within that movie got shot. I think his name is Big Rube. He delivers a really good poem that just ties the song together very well. It's a very somber track. The next track is Look at What You Started. Now, this song is a very vengeful song. Sid is saying things like, you took it 0 to 100, babe. It's basically about one of Sid's exes trying to get back with her, and Sid is just not having it at all. Doesn't want this girl back. She's saying things like, you can't keep playing innocent. I know the truth. I know that you're crazy. I know you're crazy. Could you imagine if you're going to your ex and pleading to get back with her, and she's telling you no because you're crazy? So you can definitely tell that whoever this song is addressed to, whoever wrote it, they definitely wrote it in a vengeful spirit. Maybe an ex has done them wrong, and then realized in retrospect that the person that they did wrong was a very great person. They took them for granted and then came back to kind of clean up their mess. But at this point, Sid had gotten over whatever led her to heartbreak, and has a totally new approach of more so like, fuck. I really like that song, especially if you're going through a breakup. I feel like it can be a song we can get a couple of giggles out of. Wannabe is more so about wanting a certain someone to be their girl. Talks about taking a relationship to the next level. From the lyrics throughout the song, you can catch a vibe where Sid is not quite sure if this girl wants to be hers, but she has a really good feeling about it. The instruments are on key again. Great instrumentation work throughout this entire album. Really great vibe on this song. I enjoyed it. Beat Goes On comes in right after that. Matthew Martian within the band does the keyboards and the drums, and I feel like he comes in and does that throughout this song. Or whoever comes in and is singing, they kind of sound like Miguel, so I almost thought it was at first, but I had to remember that there were no features on the album. I feel like this was placed appropriately. The album has great continuity, so on The Beat Goes On, they're talking about them wanting a girl as well. However, unlike Sid on Wannabe, where Sid had a good feeling about the girl that she liked, liking her back, this one is more so of, I like this girl, but I don't think she likes me back. And so that's why the title of the song is The Beat Goes On. This track is very upbeat. It ends with a real jazzy vibe. Hold On is the very last track. It's the longest song on the entire album. It's over 6 minutes. Throughout this song, they're repeatedly saying, hold on, can't stop. That's the hook of the track. Also, not quite sure what they mean that they're holding on to. Are they holding on to this moment in time? It's a great closeout song. It's very vibey. It's definitely kind of more so how the beginning of the album felt, where this could be played within a social scene or a social setting. Definitely has like a background music vibe to it, where it doesn't need to be the focal point or the centerpiece of a social setting, but definitely great music to create a really good ambiance. And that's what I got from it. Again, the instruments were on par with this song. I thoroughly enjoyed this album, quite honestly. I've given it a good amount of listens so far. If I had to rate this album, I would give it a solid 8 for an R&B album, just because you can listen to it in its entirety. There's really no skips. Maybe as time goes along, I may favor a couple of tracks more than the other and want to get to a particular song. But if you just start this album at song number 1 and go all the way to 13, I don't believe that you'll feel like it's a waste of time. I'm not really certain if there's really a hit or a cult classic like on Ego Death, where you had Girl. Wasn't necessarily a huge hit, but a lot of people know that song. If you were to play it, it's very recognizable. That I believe that's what kind of put them on the map. But they had a lot of other great songs on that Ego Death album. That also had a different feel. They had more rap features. Tyler the Creator was on it. Vic Mensa was on it as well. Like I said before, there's really no features on this album, but all of the band members were used great to where it felt like it wasn't just a Sid overhaul, because, you know, she did try to do her own project. I don't think it worked out that well, which is why she's back with the internet. I'm not saying that she's not a great artist. However, the rollout for that project that she did last year just wasn't the greatest. And I kind of feel like that project was swept under the rug. And I'm glad to have Sid back with the internet, making that great music. Look forward to seeing, you know, where this album goes, what song may take off. But definitely enjoyed it, and I look forward to hearing more from them.